Hello, Crystal here, SavvyBroker.com. We talk about flipping properties. Flipping properties is, it's good for the buyers that then become the sellers. It's not good for the consumers. It's nice to think if somebody buys a property and they fix it up and you just live there and happily ever after and nothing goes wrong, and that's one thing. But what ends up happening, what I've seen is they'll get it right away on the market, or before it goes into the MLS, their realtor will call and say, oh, I got this property, and then they'll fix it up. So they'll get it for, say, $50,000 and fix it up and sell it for $120,000. These things happen, and yes, that big of a price difference. So you don't really even know if they've done anything. Sometimes they don't even do anything except for they buy it before it goes on to the MLS, or if it's only been on the MLS a week, they'll buy it and they'll just put it out there at a higher price. Then you never even knew it was a cheaper price. So some people flip properties without even doing anything. Okay, that's one thing. The other thing is they just like paint it, kills paint over everything, to kill all the mold or any water issues or whatever, and that lasts about 6 months before it starts to seep through. So you don't really know what happened to the property unless, of course, talk to the neighbors, check with the rumor mill, do some of the other tips that we talk about, and find out for sure what it is that you're buying. But if you could have got it, nothing burns me up. Well, lots of things burn me up. But how do you feel? You buy a house and you're like, you bought it for $150,000 and your neighbor's like, he was selling that for $54,000. That just, when did that sell, Mabel? Well, that sold a couple weeks ago for $54,000. You just paid $150,000? Oh, well, nice to meet you. We'll bring over some pie. These things happen. So you need to find out about what you're buying, and the funny thing is that the other properties in the neighborhood are now worth that. I know the appraisers like to say that one comp doesn't make a sale, doesn't make an appraised price. I've seen it happen, and it does. So if the neighbor's house sells for $150,000 and then you're like, wow, how did they do that, right? The appraiser, does it look at the $50,000 sold? You might not even know. If it wasn't in the MLS, how would they ever know? They might ask the realtor. The realtor might not tell them. I never told them anything. They call me all the time to do their work for them. I did not tell them. Yes, I'm stubborn, but I didn't. So if the appraiser never knew about the $54,000, but they know about the $150,000 sale, okay? And then they get a couple other comps and they make the house, say, your house next door worth, say, $135,000. And really it's only worth $50,000, right? So you either sell it to some other unsuspecting sucker and the price of real estate goes through the roof falsely, or worse, you get a home equity loan, you can buy a new car, a new boat. Really, it wasn't really worth that, see? So it's kind of a tangled mess we weave sort of a deal. So find out more about what you're buying before you're buying, and yes, there's good money in flipping if you're in it for money, but if you're in it for real life as a real consumer, it's not necessarily a good thing. So check out realestateindustrywhistleblower.com and find out more about what goes on behind the closed doors of your real estate transaction.